Good evening, Haterade, Tales from the Age of Men, and I am importing actually quite a bit today. We got actually a lot from our 3D artist today. KEYForce finished Gundabad. Well, he didn't finish. He's currently sent me everything he had for Gundabad. That means the base mesh. That means the armors. He still wants to do a couple more variations, but he does have to, go on his vacation. So, God bless to KeyForce um, and his significant other, and hopefully they enjoy their nice, well-deserved vacation. And we will gladly carry the torch. Just looking at the helmets alone, looks like he nailed it for Gundabad. Can't wait to see what we do for DG and kind of onto it. So I've already showed people how to import this stuff, so you should be well versed. I didn't want to bore you guys down with all that. Now it is, I think that what we can show is base mesh, getting the base mesh in to the game, making sure that works. For me, it's the same process as most people, but we do have code, so I'm going to have to go and slap that around. But let's make some materials. I'm just going to create material. I'm going to call them MGB Cape A, right? And we're going to use the same settings as always. Alpha test on, specular on, disable vertex alpha, color alpha, and then do not use vertex color as whatever the hell that word is. I'm going to then do 20 as a factor for alpha. Helping that out. Two-sided, and then skinning. Make sure that skinning's on. Everything else is good. Save. Then I'm going to plop this down here. And then I'm going to go into the armor, to the cloaks. I just want to look and make sure that he didn't do any funny business. Let me find a cape real quick. Yep. Okay. Let's once again just making sure he didn't do any craziness. Like sometimes he likes to just make me angry by spelling mistakes, and at this point I think they're just on purpose. Keep me on my toes. So next thing we're going to move is the chest. We're going to do that. Once again, we want to make sure that all of these change. Hit save and keep it going down the line, right? So chest B should be pretty easy. Keep it going down the line. Make sure they all change. Boom, good. Yeah, so once you did it once, and there's more, chest C. Just gonna check if there's any spelling mistakes. Shouldn't be any. Now we're moving on to Greaves. One thing that we, shout out to Leo V. He's, kind of plowing away at the GB. That's A, correct? He's plowing away at the GB. Sorry, not GB. He's plowing away at the Mirkwood armors, and he's like kind of rigging it, doing everything that that he can. So it's a smooth transition when he gives it to me. He spent a lot of time today learning the editor, learning rigging, learning hand morphs, learning some quirks about Blender, because unfortunately when you export out Blender with hand morphs, export out bracers or gloves or whatever with hand morphs, you have to do it a special way in 4.5. I forget off the top of my head specifically what what settings he had to do, but like they do, if he doesn't do it that way, then they don't export out with hand morphs. But if he does it that way, then they kind of get jacked up in game with this nasty black material. If that happens, then I kind of showed him, hey, this is how you actually have to fix that area. It's not an export. It is an export, problem, but like you can't get around. You see how that didn't change? Okay, so I just did D. I'm gonna have to change that manually. But like once again, you just had to find those things quite quickly. While I was talking, I looked at it and boom, kind of happened. Okay, I'm just gonna go back and check B, A. Okay, cool. But yeah, so you actually have to go in here and anything, and I'll just look at this. Anything that is with a let's see. I don't think any of them. But anyways, here's the thing, right? I don't think any of these actually have gloves on them. But when you have that nasty black looking kind of texture in Bannerlord, you come in here, you click on Repute Normals, hit Save, and it will fix the texturing. That's from Tom Shaw on 3D Art channel, the Bannerlord Discord. So he found that out. It's like with the newer blenders, the export settings are all kind of wacky, and that's how you have to do it because once again, hands, anything that covers the hands has to have hand morphs so that they grip and do everything that you need to do. So yeah, so found that out today. He was playing around. Was kind of quite happy with his progress and his willingness to kind of go above and beyond and make sure that when he gets that to me, it's just import. Everything's great. He even learned XML, how to do all the XMLs today. So, and I like that because I was a lot of people hear me say this, but like the reason why I do a lot of this stuff is so that I know when I get it, what the normal kind of errors and stuff are, right? So like if I didn't have that black nastiness, we would have never solved. He would have been wasting hours of his time trying to figure out what the heck was going on. When I was just like, unfortunately, I didn't remember until like I seen it actually in game. I was looking at his stream. I was like, oh, I know exactly what that is. Here it is. Here's how to fix it. Boom. Right. So, but he was like, already an hour in, and of trying to like bang his head through the wall, figuring out what the heck was going on. So, anyways, hopefully lessons learned. But what is awesome is like I was explaining to him. This is why I do what I do, and I try to learn all the each and every single job. I may not be the best at it. I may not be the best rigger. I may not be the best, weight painting, vertex painting. I may not be the best 3D blender, 3D artist. I may not be the best with using substance painter files, changing the textures, map, whatever, etc., etc. You keep going, keep going, keep going. But when you put your hands in every single pot, you kind of start to understand how to debug, what the normal errors are, how to get around those, how to like all those things so that you can start helping out the next people, and then they can add to your toolkit, right? So like I think that's what is kind of important of why someone who's leading a mod has to do all these things, is because of the simple fact that he could have spent 6, 7 of his hours, valuable hours that he could have already put into the next Mirkwood armor, just because of the simple fact that no one would have knew that. He wouldn't have checked the Discord and all this other stuff, right? So I think that's why it's quite important to have your hands in all the cookie jars, if you will. I find it to be extraordinarily fun to learn these things. While yes, a headache, it is fun to kind of learn it so that you just feel like, okay, I now know at least the basics of everything. Another thing that we got into the game, shout out to Igor once again. Like I kind of give feedback to the team. Some of it a little bit. I just try to be transparent, right? I tell people like, listen, like if you want to continue to get commissioned here, this is what I need you to do, right? Like if I got KEYForce and Solus, stepping up and giving it to me to the point where I don't even have to like do anything. I could just like literally like where is it? Excuse me, Rivendell. This armor right here. Solus gave this to me, fixed everything, put it in game. So it gave me the XML. So all I had to do is just basically import it myself, do the cloth sim. I didn't even really have to do that because I just copied the TPAC and put it in, and boom, it's done, right? Wherever the cloth bodies are, etc., etc. I'll probably do a collision body tutorial at some point so that you guys can see that. But yeah, so and then Igor and Leo V are now going the extra mile to do the same thing because at the end of the day, it really does help. Where is okay, bam. I think that we have all this done. I'm just gonna go back and re-import all of these, and they should. Oh, I missed something. Let's see what I missed. Okay, A4, huh? Is this A4 also? A4. Where the heck is A4? I only have three. One. Yeah, I only have three. Okay, so I won't be able to get this fully in game because I think that we're missing the mouth and the eyes. I'd be curious where the eyes are. I might just use the human eyes. Let's see. That is not the correct mat right there. Is this? Oh yeah, LOD1. Perfect. It could be the orc eye. Let's look. Oh, I don't have the orc eye. It's not in here. That's why. Um. Ooh. Hold on. Okay. So it is a custom eye that I'm going to have to. I'll probably have to rip this guy out and put him in the base mesh. Um. That is pretty cool though. But kind of also nasty looking. So can I just go back to nothing here? Perfect. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna have to get the orc eye back in there. And that isn't on another mod. It's in the base race. So I'll probably actually rip this out and put it in the base race. Um, so yeah, I'll probably do another video when I'm ready to do that. So what I'm gonna do? How do I rip it out? Okay, let's do that. So I'm gonna go to modules. Since it's already here, I have to delete it from two places. I have to delete it from assets, which is tpacked or packaged. Well, it's tpacked, not packaged. But where is Gundabad armors? Boom, and we could just delete this guy out of there. Get the textures. I'll delete the textures out of here. Um, yeah, get that out of there. Just once again, space. It matters for that. And then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to delete it out of, once again, go back into that module, go back into asset sources, and I'm going to just put that into the base race. I want to put all the base race stuff in there. I'm not going to move the dwarf, but at some point I'll move the dwarf, so that we can get that in there too. Boom, 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 boom. Where's Gundabad? Am I blind? I am absolutely blind. Jeez. And then I'll just delete this from here. Yep, and delete it from here. Once again, just gonna put it with everything else. I think I'm missing some textures for that, so I have the SPP file, so I can go export them out. And I'll do that a little bit later. But for right now, I unfortunately cannot do this. But anyways, let's move on. So re-import all these. They should fix themselves perfect. That means, they're beautiful. It's fixed. And then, let them re-import, and then once all these are re-imported, we'll take a look at them inside the editor. Make sure that there's no UV errors. I mean, there's usually none with KEYForce. He's usually done a good job, but I just want to make sure that all this is taken care of. There's no weird texture issues, any UV map issues, stuff like that. So I'll go. Oh, look at that! I got some issues with. I wonder what he did here. What happened here? Oh, he called it T instead of M. See? He's always trying to get me with something, dude. He's always trying to get me with something. Usually he names it M. This time he named it T for B. So I'll just rename that. Telling you, man. KEYForce. Always trying to keep me on my toes. Another thing I want to do is I want to quickly make sure that it's logical, right? Like it goes from A to B to C to D to there's no E. make sure it's logical. There's no skipping because, like, once again, KeyForce just loves to stick it to me any way he can, and he'll like start off with like medium C and D instead of like where's medium A or B. He just loves to do that stuff, and it really matters when you're doing XML um, to make sure that we do keep that kind of within reason, so that it's easy to tell when you bring it up in Bannerlord because the mesh doesn't show, and then you know that you have a little issue. But it is annoying when you start building out a troop tree, which we'll have to do here soon, and you have armor in there that, like, like someone like Tyrell, he made like 50 different variations for Isengard. Kind of sucks when one of them doesn't work. You have to go kind of find that and replace it or take it out. So now let's go bring this up. Let's take a look at them. Okay, wolves fur, looking good, looking great, perfect. Boom. Let's start taking a look at this. Looks like that iron metal from the forges looks great. Some rust on it. I love it. Looks great for the fucking pal orcs that are going to be hopefully stomping some elf ass, since they're right now just getting absolute rolled by the Mirkwood elves every gameplay. Once again, just bringing these up and making sure that they look good. Right now they are only, oh, look at that. I mean, just brings out the realism, if you will. So right now we're gonna have to bump them up a little bit. Lord armors looking good. These might have some weight paint issues. Like sometimes you have to get them in game and make sure that they're, like, once again good and stuff like that. So boom, there's the base race. I'll take that out of here, put it in base, and I'll do another video on that. Now all it is, ladies and gentlemen, is XMLs, right? So I'll show you how I do one, and then I'm going to give it to my AI, and they're gonna, kind of continue it. So I'm going to go in the module data of the armory. I'm going to go to the items. I'm going to create a new folder right here. It's going to say Gundabad. And what I like to do is take something that's already there. Stop. I know Mirkwood because it has probably the least amount of armor. I'm going to take that so I could just quickly just delete it and kind of get Gundabad started. Paste. Open up arms. Now I have my handy dandy Visual Studio. Just start changing some things, but leave this kind of alone. Yeah, one thing that is really important is cover hands. I kind of went over that in another video, but you want to make sure that cover hands, if it's covering the hand, true. If it's not, false. It does matter. So let's do some arms. Get out of here real quick. I'm going to bring this over here a little bit and bring this over here, and then let's do some arms. So we can go with SKGB Orc Bracer Elite Alpha. I like to name it, then also the unique string, the same thing. So this unique string, someone asked me about this today. This unique string is used for localization. So like I will put this in my strings module. I'm sorry, my localization module for strings. It is, for those who are wondering, languages. Is it this one? Yeah, right here. So it's this one. Those unique strings are these right here that you see, that you guys can see, that are highlighted, and then the text is in English. If someone would take this, like, this is what happens with the Chinese kind of developers, that what they do is they take this and they change it to Mandarin, and they change all these to their respective Mandarin language, right? So I try to keep this up to date as much as possible. Some things do get added, some things do get changed. Try to use AI as much as I can to kind of change this out, but it helps to keep things kind of going. So just want to let you guys know that that is kind of what I do here. Is I just I don't know why I'm moving that, actually. I just take the same name. The ID has to be unique. But the most important thing is the mesh, right? So we want to make sure that the mesh is called correctly. That's why I like to do it like this because it just makes sense. Change this to Gundabad. Maybe bump up the weight a little bit. It's iron. Probably bump this. Well, this is elite. Okay. I mean, I don't really worry about these. I could just do 35 right now for elite. Call it a day. Make sure the modifier group is plate because those are probably plate. We have chainmail, we have scale mail, leather, and cloth. All of modifier groups. I think this is kind of impacts bonuses and from damage absorption and stuff like that. It also impacts sounds if someone's hitting something like that. It sounds like that. So and I will do this elite racer 1. Boom, done. Is merchandise true? It will spawn here. I can also do a value if I wanted to set a value. Sorry, value. And I can set that value to whatever I want. I let the game decide. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Maybe you want something to be very, very expensive in your game. Or not. That's totally up to you. Let me just get that. Boom, done. All right, so I'll do the next one. I always like to do 2 to teach AI. This is how I kind of want it. And then I'll give it to AI and let it go forth and conquer, right? Let's look at A and B and see what we're looking at here. Cool. Looks that this is the third one's different. I would leave the ratings alone. I don't think that I think that's just variations, which is cool. Let's see what this one is. Oh, that one should probably be a little bit more because there's 4. These ones I think are 3. So C should be a little bit more in terms of armor. Kind of just looking at those things. And it only goes up to C. So cool. Yeah, so those are some of the things I'll look at. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I try to get this shit into the game. I worry about everything else later. So huge shout out to Bennett because he just went through and changed all of the troops, all of the variations, some of the troop names, merged the Swan Knights into the Swan Knight kind of Doth Almoroth line, changed the noble line a little bit. Like he's done the Lord's work this past 2 days to like kind of really bring those things in line from what his gameplay was, what his thoughts were. I love that. That was my whole goal, was to allow the community to kind of turn in what they wanted. I think I have I'm sorry, I forgot his name right off the top of my head. Give me a second. I'm going to go to my testers. I want to get it right. So Cost Juggler is doing a lot of the weapons balancing from his perspective. So he's going through the weapons XML, and he'll send that to me a little bit later. Dizzy Docs is doing a lot of the siege, testing the sieges and stuff like that, because we do a lot of things to the map. But yeah, so that's how I kind of get armor into the game, especially modular armor that all works together. It's a lot of XMLs, it's a lot of gronking. Then I'll load it up in the game. Then once that's done, cool, I'll move on to the troop tree. Once the troop tree is done, I'll move on to the lords. Once the lords are done, I'll move on to the clans. I might do the clans before the lords, then the heroes. Like there's a lot of XML work that I'll try to show you guys how this is how we build a kingdom. And then we have to test it, right? Like I have to save all the stuff and kind of test it in game. So I will once again do a couple of videos as much as I possibly can. Tomorrow's I have an off day, so I might get Gundabad bumped out tomorrow in totality and do like kind of a long stream. It may be boring to some people because I'm going to be kind of doing as much as I can. So while Gronk is in the background, just Gronking, or whoever, ChatGPT, Cloud, I have kind of access to all. I will then. I don't even know how I zoomed in, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea how that happened. Anyways, I don't know what button I just did. Okay. I just wanted to quickly show this is how I imported armor. You guys have already seen that. How did I do this? I'm going to feed this to Gronk. Um, but yeah, so yeah. Oh, another thing I guess I could show you guys is Igor did an amazing job on the Dwarven Hair, getting this into the game. We did get that to work, so I'll just kind of launch that. Oh, well, I can't really launch it. Never mind, I can't show you because I'm full screen. I mean, sorry. Yeah, it's gonna look like that. So, maybe I can do it. Hold on. Maybe it will pop up here so that you guys can see it. But yeah, so yeah, kind of going along. While that's loading, I will check some Discord stuff, make sure that that is fine. Yeah, so probably because I just put all of those assets in, it's going to take a long time. But I don't want to keep you guys waiting. The dwarf hair is in the game, at least 5 of them. They do look nice. We do have to figure out, I guess it's loading now. We do have to figure out that what we can do to like kind of change the metal, because like in the editor, for example, as soon as I could pop up in the editor, excuse me, in the editor um, the metal is different, but like when you put that into, and this is what we have to kind of figure out and play around with. So it's two different materials, right? But in the game, it treats it as one. It will make the material the same color as the hair, and which is sort of annoying. We're gonna have to continuously play around with it to figure out like what's going on. In the editor, it looks great. Um, I don't know. We don't know what the kind of issue is. It is taking a long time to load. So I'll tell you guys what. I'll end it here. Tomorrow I will start to do clans and I'll have the armor kind of filled out. So we'll start the troop tree. It might be a little bit boring for people who don't want to kind of see how you make your own custom troops, how do you make your own custom lords, how do you make your own custom clans, and fit it into a kingdom. Um, and then test it in game and make sure that, that's looking good, feeling good. Well, I guess it does want to pop up now, so you guys will be able to see it maybe. Every time I say that, it slowly but surely takes longer to load. But yeah, so if you guys like this type of content, please leave a comment below so that I know kind of what is it that you guys want to see. Some people have requested already to do more editor, cloth body, cloth sim. I don't know how to do that stuff in Blender, so I mean, someone requested for me to do how to do it in Blender. I don't know. Um, I don't do that specific stuff. I know how to do the vertex painting stuff. So here is the dwarf hair, and like I said, we're gonna if I change the color, it changes the color of that of the metal too. We're gonna have to figure that out. Um, add it to the list. But dwarven hair is in the game. One thing I have to check just to make sure. Sorry, I gotta. The hair has shape keys. I gotta make sure that they're working right. Um, I gotta make sure that the shape keys are working. They should be moving with the head, I believe. But yeah, so we got Dwarven hair. Um, don't worry about the pictures. I'm not gonna add any more custom pictures um, until way later on. But yeah, so we got Dwarven hair in the game. But anyways, you guys take it easy. Haterade, Tales from the Age of Men. Thank you. Bye.